Professor Pelton. This is Algebra 2, Chapter 5, Section 2, Part 2. So do a little review using the whole numbers before we go on to the next part. So this is a product property. So the 6 and the 5 go together, give you 30. And you have x to the 6th and y to the 10th. Because essentially, if you have the same base, should be combined with the product rule, which is addition. Since x and y are on the same base, these cannot be combined. Quotient rule is divide. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Subtract, so it's 12 minus 3 and 9 minus 7. So we have 6x to the 9 and y squared. These don't have the same basis. That's as far as you can go there. Let's see. So if I distribute, that's 5 to the 0 and x to the 0. The 0 exponent rule means it's 1, so it's 1 times 1. So the answer is 1. Next one, none of these have the same base, but we have a negative exponent here. So my final answer is 7y squared over x to the 5th, because you can't have a negative exponent in the final answer. Power to a power rule, that's multiply, so that's b to the 8th. That's positive, so we're all set there. So next one, power of a product, needs to go to each of these. So that's negative 2 to the 4th times y to the 4th, which is going to give us 16. Oh, that's incorrect. I'm sorry. That's 2 times 4, which is 8. So that's 16y to the 8th. All right, scroll down to the next three. We have a power of a quotient. Needs to distribute inside to each one of these. So that's x to the 6th and 4 to the 3rd, which is x to the 6th over 64. All right, next one's a quotient rule. So you have negative 35 divided by 5 is negative 7. We have 2 minus 6 and 4 minus negative 8. So that's negative 7x to the negative 4, y to the 12. Can't have a negative exponent in the final answer. So the final answer is negative 7y to the 12th over x to the 4, because that negative exponent needs to go to the bottom. You need to reciprocate it. All right, next one. This negative 3 needs to go to all terms. However, you need to include the 4 because the 4 really has a 1. So that's 4 to the negative 3, x to the negative 6, and y to the negative 3, because this also has a 1 as an exponent. So doing the power of a power, which is multiply. So they all are negatives, so they all must switch. So I have y to the 3rd, 4 to the 3rd, x to the 6, use the negative exponent property, and we'll simplify to get our final answer. All right, pause the video, try the student problems. All right, product rule of exponents. We get 40 for the 4 times 10, x to the 5th for the x's, and y to the 10th for the y's. Product rule is add the exponents. Quotient rule, subtract. 27 divided by 3 is 9. We have 14 minus 3 and 8 minus 5 for 9, x to the 11th, y to the 3rd for our final answer. And this 0, since there's no parentheses, only goes to the x. So I really have 5 times 1, or 5, which is different from what we had before. Pay close attention to that. What does the exponent actually apply to? So here, the same property. There are no common bases here, but that negative 2 only applies to the x. So my final answer is 1x squared over 4 using the negative exponent property. Power to power rule is multiply, so y to the negative 14 equals 1 over y to the 14. In any one of these, you don't remember the property at some point. You could rewrite them out longhand if you wanted to. So that is 1 over y7 squared if you wanted to rewrite it that way, which is 1 over y7, which is the same thing. You're welcome to write out 14 y's if you want to, or just know the properties. All right, f, the 3 goes to each term. So that's negative 4 to the 3rd, x to the 15. Power to powers multiply. So that's 3 negatives is a negative 64, x to the 15. Not a very good 15, but we got it. Okay, let's go down to do the last 3. Okay, power of a quotient. The trick is here that negative needs to go somewhere. I'm going to put it in the top. It can go the top, the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Either way, the four negatives or the fourth power will cancel out the negative, giving you 81 x to the fourth. All right, quotient rule, divide. 100 divided by 20 is 5. We have 12 minus 16 to minus -4, because quotient rule says subtract the exponents. So that's x to the -4 and y to the 6th. So that's 5y to the 6th over x to the 4th. All right, last one. Quotient rule, or power of a quotient, needs to go to all of these. If they don't have an exponent, they have a 1. So that's 5 to the -2, x to the -2, y to the -8. Since they're all negative, they need to reciprocate. Y to the 8th, 5 squared, x squared, for a final answer of y to the 8th, 25x squared. So that's a nice whole number review. That is the end of part 2.